Hello everyone. So today I'm going to look at some of my favorite plants at the moment. I haven't done a favorites video since November. That's quite a long time. I usually do them once a month. I think I might resume that if y'all want it. And y'all, it's a good one today. I haven't felt, this happy about these plants in quite a while. I'm just so excited to show and share these plants with you. I know I don't show as much on YouTube anymore. So I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited because, okay, we have philodendrons, we have monsteras, we have Hoyas, orchids, Anthuriums. Oh my god, I was just looking around and I was like, oh no, am I gonna show like all of them? No, I can't. Okay, so the first plant is the Monstera Burle Marx flame. Y'all know that I chopped her up into pieces. I have 11 plants. Actually, that's a lie. The one that I had in Lekka, there were 3 plants in Lekka that I was kind of having like pH issues with, like nutrient deficiency and absorption issues with. I actually propagated that one down and put it into pond. At the moment, they kind of look like this. I think I made like 5 cuttings, but y'all, the ones that I'm obsessed with are the 2 planters that are in pond. And I don't know, like I know I share this on Instagram, but I don't look at these plants often. I wanted to move my plant room around to have better reach, better visual of these plants, but I just don't have the time. I'm also gonna turn off this light. So they're actually still in this corner where I can't really reach them. There's like 3 buckets in front of it, and okay, are y'all excited? Okay, I lied. I feel like I want to show all of them. So let me just, oh my god, there's like still no room in here, everyone. I like have to move things onto, oh gosh, please don't crush the luxurians. I move this bucket down and then like put the strawberry over here. Like, is that the answer? Red Anderson. Okay, after the Burle Works flames, I'm gonna show you the Red Anderson because girl, absolutely obsessed. Okay, I always confuse the planters. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is new. Okay, I don't know if y'all could see anything here, but this is the first planter. There's 2 plants in here. The leaves are just so stunning and it's just so adorable. Look at this. Wow. Okay, I still don't know if you can see okay, but look at this, everyone. Incredible. So on one plant you have these 2 gorgeous leaves here. Beautiful. They're kind of identical. I think I've said that before. And then the second one over here has this leaf right here. And then this is a brand new leaf. I mean, you could tell. Look at that. So we went from 2 fennies to 3 fennies. And look at all this. I'm just so obsessed with this plant. The leaf shape. I never know what the new leaf is gonna look like. I do have an empty moss pole behind it just because I didn't want to go through the hassle of repotting it once it was already established in here. So I do have that. You'll see that it became an issue with the second one because the new leaves were pushing against the honeycombs and the plastic. So there is a bit of damage because of that. You can see over there, there is a root trying to grow. And so I think it's time to put some spag into the pole. And yeah, it is an absolutely gorgeous plant. I am hoping that the price drops a little bit more. Just think 2-3 years ago, this plant was going for thousands of dollars and now it's going for a few hundred. And it's still not in a lot of people's budgets, but this plant is just extremely rewarding and I do recommend it to a lot of people. So this is the first planter. Again, there's 2 plants in here. This planter does have more fennies like on each plant and it's probably, oh my gosh, the light is like blowing it out. It's probably one of my most, these are definitely the most mature here. So like the other planter, there's 2 plants in here, 2 propagations, and they've taken off so beautifully. There was a moment where this leaf, God, everything is tangled. They're like tangling each other's fenestrations is so cute. There was a point where this leaf, I can't even see it myself. Where's the damage? Oh, it's not that one. It's this one. This leaf. There was a point up here where she was unfurling and she was going into the honeycombs in here. Can see that damage up there. Still a very gorgeous leaf. Oh, actually, oh yeah. So this is actually a new leaf on the second plant. I thought they were both together, and I haven't really seen it. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Look, this is... What is happening? It looks so good. Oh my gosh. Hopefully you get a good visual of it. But I mean, this whole plant. I mean, the leaf before that one was this one. So pretty. Look at that. You know, I'll say this again, in my experience, and weirdly, like a lot of people do say that this is like a slower Monstera. I personally, like in my experience, I don't believe that. I mean, y'all know this plant started as like this little baby, and she actually did quickly, like in 3 to 6 months, like push out the first claw. I really think that you need to give it enough aeration around the roots, and you know, the substrate needs to be like moist at all times. I said this in a previous video, I think it was a Hoya video, where when it comes to philodendrons, monsteras, Hoyas, Anthuriums, specifically Anthuriums, you really have to keep the moistness around the roots. And I'm not saying like drown the plant and drown the roots. They need air and they need water. How do you keep that medium? With a chunky mix and watering right before it gets too dry. Keep them in pond with the reservoir so they're constantly moist and working up that moisture up. Leca, same idea, because I do think that there are a lot of people that have the flame in arid mixes and they're way too dense. I'm still no expert. I'm really not. It's, you know, a learning process for myself as well. Again, there's more people growing this plant. There's not really a lot of information about it. Like I know in the past, we're used to seeing super mature specimens, but there's not a lot of information about growing them from a small little plant. I really do look forward to this growing super tall. More fennies. I'm so curious to see like what the limit is of how many fennies this plant will push out. And okay, so I'm gonna hold the other planter. Oh my god, this is incredible. Oh my god. Whew, this is what I wanted. And this is just 4 plants, guys. I'm so excited. Like I wanted an army of flames and I have it. I don't know, this is incredible. I am so happy. And I feel so lucky to have these specimens, and it's just everything. I'm so in love. You're living in Lashusa Pond. I'm doing this new thing where I stop like over fertilizing a lot of my plants. And what I mean by that, I would just use my Leca nutrient solution, dilute it maybe in half. So I think even though I repotted it, the first time I fertilized it was a week ago. And so at this point, it's been 6 months, I think, since I propagated this plant, and I haven't fed it. There's slow release fertilizer in pond. They say it can last 3 to 6 months. So that's why I started fertilizing again. Trying not to overdo it, especially because of the pH issues with the one that I had in the open air one in Leca. In my opinion, I do think that you need to give these ones not, how do I word this so it's not confusing? You need to give this plant enough hours of light, but not at a super high intensity. Y'all know that I love blasting my plants with so much light. You will see on these leaves, and even when I first started growing this in Leca, when I first got it, I found when there was a new leaf unfurling, and you could kind of see it with this one. This leaf was probably getting like 1,500 to 2,000 foot candles when she was unfurling. And I don't know if it's showing on camera, but she is a lot more yellow compared to the other ones, specifically at the top part of the leaf here, because this leaf is hardened off already, but you can see that there's still kind of a band of yellow. I would say maybe 1,000, but again, every grow light's different. Like some will bleach the leaves, some won't. Again, I use the Sunblaster LED grow lights. They're on for 14 hours a day. And all my Burle Marx flames are under this grow light. But because they're clustered together, I would say it's probably getting like 600 to like 1,000, depending where the leaves are. Plants are also against a south-facing window. So on the days that it's sunny, this plant is getting more than like 1,500 foot candles, or even more than 2,000 foot candles, depending on the intensity of the sunlight. I think there's a common misconception about direct sun and how plants don't like it. Plants can actually appreciate an hour or 2 of direct sun depending on the plant. And so with the Burle Marx flames, and what I've observed is that they're fine with it. I kind of feel the same way with like the Monstera Aurea Constellation. But for example, there are some Anthuriums that you wouldn't like put into direct light, because those rays will definitely bleach those beautiful dark velvet leaves. So that is just, oh my god, am I missing anything? I'm always keeping a reservoir. There's a space where there's a reservoir here. I don't think I've flushed this plant recently. It's only been 6 months in the substrate. Temperature is 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is 16 degrees Celsius, about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think, oh gosh, I don't know. Is that 24? Is it 24 degrees Celsius? The humidity is around 35 to 60, depending. I do have limited experience when it comes to growing this plant on a moss pole. I attempted when she was in LECA, but she was having other issues like that nutrient burn and whatever, or the lack of nutrients and the pH stuff. So she did latch onto the moss pole, but she had other issues. Like, I don't think that's like I don't think I could pull conclusions from that experience. But, you know, if she's this big already, I have a moss pole already ready to go. I'll observe it as it grows, but it's gonna be so exciting. The pond is dropping. Oh my God, it's still dropping. I just want to show the plant to y'all. Look, I'm trying to like not tip it that much. Look how pretty. Am I gonna show them all? I think I might show them all. Okay, the one in LECA here is the one that's in this bucket with this net pot. Let me just see. God, I'm gonna make a mess, I know it. Okay, oh, do you see this big? You see this big one? Okay, so this one was the butt cut. After it grew a little bit, I did chop it more. So there's actually 3 plants in here. And then I put it back into the pot of LECA. So you can see this new leaf. So this new leaf has 2 fennies. It's coming from this plant with this leaf over here. The claw. And then the biggest one in here has this leaf. So that's the second one. And the third one, remember the third one, but do you see that there is a growth point coming out there? And the leaf looks awful, but it's still doing its thing, like you can see. With that growth point over there, she is doing fantastic. Oh my God, y'all. And this one that had the stem rot that I was protecting, you can see that I taped it up. Doing so well. I did cut the leaf like this and just put this part under grow light. Then from the node, she pushed out this flame, and I just noticed this today. She's pushing out a new leaf. So I said that I was gonna wait for roots to grow from this new growth point, because you can see over here, you can see that the rot went really like up the stem to the point where she's actually so close to the petiole that I was so scared I was gonna lose the leaf. You can still, you know, grow a plant if there's a node and, like, for example, put it into a prop box, like a place where there's high humidity, a lot of light, a lot of warmth, but it just takes more energy. Like, the plant can't generate enough energy if it doesn't have that solar what's a solar panel? That solar panel of like the leaf, for example, to make enough energy to push out that leaf. And a lot of the time, sometimes the wet stick dies because it can't generate as much energy. Obviously, like, it's in shock because it's trying to survive. So what was the point of that? So then I was waiting for a few more roots before I actually cut this part completely, just so it has a root system, because the root system is so close to the rot area. And I don't know how it's been able to survive, but it's been able to survive. So I'm very happy with this one. I don't think this was here before. Okay, this is amazing. I almost threw out these. Okay, so the next few, I just propagated them like a week ago. So there's not a lot to show. I'm actually very shocked. So you can see the damage from like the pH issues. And I was like, oh, there's no roots. I don't know. Like, I think the best option is to put these ones in LECA because there weren't any aerial roots. You'll find, and like certain philodendrons, like I want to say Strawberry Shake, Pink Princess, no, not those ones. Florida Ghost, those ones are so hard. Like, if they don't have like fresh aerial roots for them to root. I had the same situation with my 69686 and even my plain Florida when I still had it. If they don't have fresh aerial roots, a lot of the time they will die or take a very long time. So I had that mindset going into this. I was like, I'll just put them in water, hopefully they root, and that wasn't there. Look at that. So that's one of them. So exciting. And then this one, that wasn't there before. Look at that. Whoa, I'm gonna have so many. Incredible. I'm so happy to see that. Okay, and then there's not much to show with the other ones, but I guess since I'm doing it, we'll do it. Okay, so this one, a claw. Single node. I don't know why, listen, all the trendy people out there and all the people that know how to grow plants are like, I'm gonna put a layer of LECA at the bottom. I've always been so resistant with that idea. I don't know why. I have no reason. I'm trying it with this one. So there's a layer of like at the bottom and then there's pond on top. And I kind of want to suspend it because I didn't want the ends to rot. So I have some tape here, but the node is over there, so that's where the new plant will grow. This one over here, another claw. You can see that she started off like this and then she grew from that point. And then I chopped her again. You can see that that is definitely a node. And then this one, I think I like really smushed all the roots into this small little planter because I didn't have a bigger planter. There's two nodes on this one. Oh yeah, I didn't want to cut the only leaf because like I was saying before, like this is gonna help generate more energy for the plant while it's in a very stressful situation. So there's actually two nodes on this one. But yeah. Whew. Y'all, I just counted 14. 14 flames, yes, I count. Oh wait, there's one more. There's 15, but this one's a nubbin. Please survive. Ooh, you're dry. Okay, I gotta put some water in this. This is the 15th one. I have this so close to the grow light. You can see that this is the node here. And we're gonna hope, I mean, you can see the pond is so dry. Like when I shake it, it's just like, again, put your finger in. It's like borderline. I'm just gonna put some water before I put it back. Wow, I don't even know how long I took explaining or talking about the flame. Okay, I had to take a call, but if I didn't say it, the first plant is a Monstera Burle Marx flame. I want to jump into a philodendron I've wanted for so long. I finally have it, and Marnie, thank you again for gifting me this for Christmas. It is the Philodendron Red Anderson. This is very exciting. Look, I have no words to describe how obsessed I am with this plant. I didn't film it, but I had to break the vessel she was already in because it was a glass like vase. The roots really took over. I really think with this plant, the pink princess, the strawberry shake, like those types of philodendrons, they really need to feel secure, latching onto something, whether that's the roots in the substrate or on a moss pole, in order to take off, push out big leaves. I really believe that. And yay. Okay, so I can't take credit for all of this growth. That was all Marnie. Marnie is so good with plants. I will take credit for this leaf because this is the first leaf that came out in my care. And then there's another one. And you could see a little, ooh, it's not focusing. You can see a little bit of the cream over there. I never try to like open up a leaf because I'm known specifically with strawberry shakes and pink princesses to break them. It's a plant that I've wanted for quite a long time. I never saw a specimen that I actually liked, and this one is one that I absolutely loved. Now I have a moss pole, and I am happy to say, because I only did this like 2 weeks ago, I'm happy to say, oh my god, there is, where is it? Look, everyone, look. She's going into the moss pole. I think I like helped another root on the other side. Y'all can't see it. It's there though. So that's very exciting. Yay. I know that, I mean, just based on like what I've seen and what like Marnie has told me, and heat will help pull out these kind of leaves. And I'm really curious because my place never is warm. Like it's always cool. And that's why like in the past, specifically with pink princesses, I only got those really pink leaves during the summer because that was the only time that this room got actually warm. The rest of the months, like the leaves didn't look that great. So for now, I actually have her where my Burle Marx flames are because when it is sunny in here, that corner specifically gets so warm. So I have them all clustered together, the Burle Marx flames and this plant, just to see because it's still March, like it's not warm by any means. And y'all know that I have an air conditioning going for the majority of the day. The air conditioner is actually in that corner, so there's just constant wind. Are y'all excited too? I'm so excited for this plant. Oh, it is wonderful. This is a plant that I think about all the time. And it's, I still can't believe that I have it. Oh my gosh. The second plant is the Philodendron Red Anderson. Guys, I literally was just like talking and it wasn't even recording. Okay, let's roll it back. The next plant. I'm showing this plant today because she's gonna melt away soon. I did post a reel on Instagram. Like I really gotta capture the moment where she looks this way, just because she will start to brown. But it is the Thai Constellation, the white one that I have, or the cream one. And it's not this one. I'm just moving things. It's kind of incredible how she's looking. And, you know, I had to cut the other leaves because they were melting. And if y'all remember, like I did have that reel where I was showing like the leaves melting. I still get comments, like people don't believe me when I say that this is a Thai constellation. But here it is. I just think it's incredible, like that it has the shape and size, just because the only green left on this leaf is the leaf that existed when I propagated her. So if y'all remember, half of this leaf was like the classic Thai constellation leaf, and then the other side was just pure cream. Because the bud was on the other side of the plant, where there was cream, it started pushing out cream leaves, and it's just been constant, like more than others. I really want leaves that have a little bit of like marbling of green like this. Like that would be perfect. I'm pretty sure, I'm just looking at the amount of nodes over here. Because you can see there are a few nodes, but no leaves. I'm pretty sure there was like maybe 2 or 3 leaves. And then this one, which is the 4th one. Number 5, which melted away. And then this one. And this one's gonna melt away. Like, there's no doubt about it. Looking at the rest of the stem, like early on, you can see marbled green. However, when you look past this one, let me just remove this, the green is disappearing. Like it's mainly cream. Even on the other side, you can see that the marbling's kind of disappearing. And it's funny because there's only the speck of green at the bottom. I don't know if it's showing. So because I want to maintain these leaves, I am actually giving this more light than a regular Thai. Like this part of the leaf, this part of the leaf, I know it's a lot of cream, but there is some speckling of green, so they could still generate energy for the plant if there's light. I have this part under a sun blaster LED grow light, probably getting like 1,500 foot candles for 14 hours a day. They just don't last long because there's just so much that your plant can do to try to maintain leaves that are doing nothing and that suck energy from the plant. Again, very shocked that the leaves look like this. Like very, very shocked. In Lucia's Pond, I just fill up the reservoir with water. I don't think I've fed this plant in quite a while. Wow, this is pretty though. Look at this. I would love to know if anyone else has had, you know, experience with ties going like this. I know there are a bunch of ties that I'm seeing at like garden centers recently that specifically have more cream. Yeah, I don't know. Like this is just something I stumbled upon after propagating this plant multiple times. I'm so happy that she's here and obsessed. I'm so happy that I'm able to film this video while this leaf actually still looks decent. And another thing, like in my experience, these leaves feel so thin compared to the green parts, like extremely thin. Maybe it's because I haven't fed it in a while, but I just know they're not gonna last long. I know people say like maybe use silica, but silica scares me because it messes up the pH a lot. So I don't want to like introduce that yet. I want to do a little bit more research. So the 3rd plant is the Monstera Thai Constellation. Do you know what? I should name this one. Submit what you want me to name this Thai constellation. I don't usually name my plants, but I think this one's pretty unique that I have to name her. Okay, 4th plant, Anthurium Moodeanum. It's honestly, I'm just obsessed with how dark and red these leaves stay. And I don't know if this is actually a thing, but in my experience with this plant, if you give it a lot of light, they actually do stay red longer. And I know that's quite different than other, like for example, dark velvet leaf anthuriums. Like usually you have to just pull back on the light. But based on my experience with this plant, it needs to have a lot of light for these leaves to stay red. Let me know if that's a thing. If anyone else has a moody, I still don't know how to say it, but okay. So there's a hole because like she was crunched up against things. So this is the leaf, and y'all, I've made so many reels about this leaf, but you can see that she's still here, and look at the veins. they're still so red. Like this is an old leaf. I think because it's January, December, January that I took that reel of it being like so red. Like it is so nuts how long it stayed. There is a new leaf over here and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. These two leaves are actually like not under any light. I do this strategy with a lot of my plants, just obviously because I don't have enough room. I'm like, how can I give this plant a lot of light without like crushing them right up against the grow light? So if they have older leaves, so in this case, and you can see the grow light damage, in this case, I put a leaf right under the grow light, so the plant still gets a ton of light. So these two leaves are right under my Sunblaster LED grow lights, and you can see that they look rough. They are the older leaves, so 1 and 2. And yeah, you can see that I put some cling wrap because I need to keep the moisture around the aerial roots so they would latch onto the moss pole. And it looks like a worm. That is so funny. I just love how the roots are like super red too. This one specifically, just because I've had it for so long, I think I got this plant like early 2020. I have seen this plant stay more red if you give it a ton more light. It's kind of evident and kind of confirms what I was saying about. And also when she was in LECA, like the internodes of the stem were pretty large. So as it grew, like it got really tall. I didn't have anything supported. Like I was just like putting moss around it, but it was getting too tall, too unstable. So when it got to this size, I was like, okay, Kevin, you know what happened last time? You got to put a moss pole on it. And so I have a little one. I don't know if you can see how red it is, but the veins are red. Oh, okay. Did I show this on Instagram? Oh my God, I keep forgetting. Anyhow, fifth plant, Monstera Aurea. I'm like absolutely obsessed with this one. And I feel like she's not gonna, she's not cooperating. And she's kind of crawling away from the moss pole, which is okay. But look at this beauty. Whew. One of my props. You can see that she's already crispin on that part. It's funny because the one before that has yellow, but it's not crispy. I don't know if it's because there's just, no, they have the same amount of green. I don't know, but you know, this is kind of what I like in an Aurea. Like, despite the crisp, like just having close to a 50-50 when it comes to yellow and green. It looks so pretty. And I just noticed this today. Here's a new leaf coming. How wonderful. It's exciting. It's exciting. She's crawling away from the moss pole. But I'm just gonna try my best to kind of guide her back. I don't wanna like force it now because there's a new leaf. Do I force it now? I think I could do it now. I'm gonna do it now. Where's the plant tea? Time can never mend. Okay, so I just put plant tape and kind of pulled it that way. Again, plants will do their own thing. This probably won't help it, but at least it's like going more center now. Ain't she pretty? Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a beautiful plant. I don't know if I want to experiment with silica this year. I know a lot of people say it helps, but does it really? It leashes a pond on a moss pole. I haven't fed this plant in a while, actually. It's kind of just relying on the slow release fertilizer. Y'all know that I propagated this back in August, September of last year, so it's about the 6-7 month mark. Not under grow light. I actually want to say that all my Aureas are not getting a lot of light. The tall Aurea that I had was up against a south-facing window and was never under a grow light. Didn't really have that much crisp, but it was a specimen that was more green. This is kind of the first time that I'm growing a super variegated one. I'm finally like experiencing crisp like really quickly. I'll show the one that's in LECA because this one's crisping like super quickly. So this leaf over here, I mean, it was all yellow at the bottom. You could see the crisp down here. The leaf after that was this beautiful one that I posted recently on Instagram. Over here, you can see that it's just this part over here. Now, this new leaf, I actually can't tell if this is like fully yellow because you know when it's new, it stays like light green, you never know. But you can see marbling if there's green and yellow. I kind of think that this is a fully variegated one. which scares me. But sure, whatever. I just love how this leaf is just not crispy. Okay, wait, there's another one. Y'all know that I was so in love with this leaf just because how small she was, how beautiful the variegation was, you know, presenting and the fenestrations. You can see the crispy parts now. After that, she pushed out this leaf. Now, this leaf was unfurling under grow light, so she does look very bleached. And then this one, this is the new leaf. So you can actually see that this part of the leaf is like green and this part is yellow. I mean, can you see that? Yeah, so this one's actually only against my south-facing window, but it's not up against the window, like it's on the table under so many different plants. I can see one singular root there. Whoa, how did I get to this point and not do a Hoya? Hoya Clemensiorum. It has been MIA. Kyle, I know she's your fave. This Hoya for some reason now has taken off, and it's probably gonna look the same to a lot of y'all just because the leaves, the new leaves, they're kind of under the cage. What is it called? The trellis, not the cage. Oh my God, look at you. Oh, it is so hard to show. It is so hard. Hoya Clemensiorum, right over here. The biggest leaf is this one. Again, she is hanging, obsessed. There are a lot of leaves under here. Like, let me show you. Like, this is a new leaf over here. She was kind of hiding. Dinosaur. This is from when dinosaurs roamed the land. Oh, this is a brand new leaf over here. Right over here, where my pinky is. I don't really want to touch it because she is not even close to harding off. Wow. Oh my God, hi. I can see that this is a new leaf. Look at that. Oh my gosh, the veins are everything. So stunning. Okay, what else? You can see that this one was new, but she was crunching. And then these two down here. One, and then on the other side, in here. I can't show it, but it looks identical to this one. But there has been so many new leaves recently. It is incredible. I almost thought, I was like, I need to add 2 more trellises so she could actually like climb, and so there's more room. Ooh, I love when like you have a lot of light and they turn red. Like, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. Because this one isn't. Do you see? Oh my gosh. And then these ones too. Okay, this is the weird one. Remember this one? The shape was so strange. So people have told me, like, after I've talked about how I think my Clemensiorum looks unique, just based on like, you know, how the leaves, they kind of have that curve like a banana, because every time I see Clemensiorums, they have a more flatter, like this one. This one over here is darker. It's more flat. Like, it doesn't have that curve like the other ones, or as much. People were saying that Hoyas, so there are some Hoyas that if they're subjected to a lot of light, they do curve. And so that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking it's because of that. Either way, still looks so pretty. Nothing has changed. She's in leca and the roots are still healthy. Let me see. The roots are still healthy. I didn't even look at them. Yeah. Wow, the reservoir is like gone. I just changed this reservoir like a week ago. Why is it gone? Okay. Thurstania. But again, I am giving it a lot of light. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, 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 wow. Like, it is an incredible Hoya. It is an incredible Hoya. Let me know what your experiences are if you have this plant, like what the growth is like, how fast it is. Because for me, it was actually slow for the first year. Like, I think because the roots have grown into the reservoir and maybe the root system in the leca is so big that now she feels secure. Oh my God, these leaves are so pretty. Y'all need to see this. Oof. Whoa, okay, I just saw this one now. Look at this leaf, sorry. This one is like brand new. She has, like, she feels juicy. Like, she's not hardened off yet. You know when they're not hardened off yet and they feel juicy? Does that make sense? Look at that, that's crazy. Okay, this Hoya is everything. There's so many new leaves, wow. I've only grown this one in leca with partial roots in the reservoir. They haven't rotted yet, so I keep telling myself, observe as much as possible, assess as much as possible. The roots, you know, after feeling them, every time I switch the reservoir, like, they're healthy. The plant's doing okay, so I'm gonna keep it the way it is. There are a lot of Hoyas that don't like it. Let me think, is there one that I can talk about. Do you know what? Hoya serpens. Hoya serpens, if the root's in the reservoir, they don't like it for a long time. I can't think of anything else. So anyways, the Hoya Clemensiorum. Okay, Philodendron Luxurians. Are y'all living? Are y'all living? I don't know. People are not living, I feel. And I don't see a lot of them. Are people over it? What's the deal? I need to know because I feel like I'm being unreasonably just excited about this one. I don't know, let me just show it to y'all. Okay, that was crunching. This new leaf is absolutely everything. It really is. Ooh, oh my God, it's glowing. It's actually glowing. Oh my God, it's funny because I was like, y'all, the damage, and like, y'all can't even see the damage. Look, the damage over here. That was grow light damage. So I think after this leaf, I was like, okay, Kev, you gotta move this plant away from a grow light. So now she's getting probably medium light. This is the leaf after that, and you can see that this one's much darker. Whoa. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's weird because compared to the other leaves, this one feels the most like thick and like it feels the healthiest. Like I felt with the other leaves, and you could see with the oldest leaf down here, I felt it was so like just sensitive to like moisture when it got on it that it like crisped up. Inconsistent waterings as well. And now like look at these three. Look at these three. It is incredible. I'm so in love with this plant. This one feels so healthy. It is incredible. Anyways, remember, I want to talk about this more in another video. Like she rotted all the way back. She rotted all the way back, and I'll throw in a picture. Like, I know I look happy, but I was like kind of devastated. It took forever. I don't know if y'all have this plant. It took forever. I did have issues with the earlier leaves. Like I know for a fact to this one and the ones before that, the tips would always get stuck in the cataphyll. I don't know what happened. I think I was keeping on top of the moisture, not letting the roots sit in the water, but also like not drying it out completely. It was kind of like a project. I was like, I gotta keep on top of this stuff. Then she pushed out, oops, no. Then she pushed out this leaf over here. Boom, and then this one. Wow, and then this one. So this was one of the philodendrons that was one of my projects and experiments when I wanted to grow terrestrial philodendrons on moss poles. It's not going great. She's just not crawled this way, but I think it's because this leaf or this petiole over here is in the way, so then it couldn't go anywhere. I think if this was gone, I could like actually like push it, and you can see that it's moving. I think I would be able to push it against the moss pole, but I don't want to get rid of this leaf yet. Like she's still gorgeous. All the leaves are gorgeous, but I don't know, like are y'all obsessed with the glowing? The glowing is like everything. Similar to like an El Choco, they are a bit red as they unfurl and harden off, but after they harden off, they're just green on the back. So yeah, obsessed. So she sits over here currently, and so south facing window, there are a couple grow lights here, but they're not right under, so they're kind of getting it from the side. So yeah, Philodendron Luxurians. Let's do Anthurium Zara F2 crossed with Michelle F3. So this is just a stunning hybrid. I know, like compared to other Zara Michelles, like she's not as red as the other ones, but I am just obsessed at this point when she's this dark. I'm always like, I feel like I'm deceived. I feel like it's not that dark, but when I show it on camera or take pictures of it, it looks like really dark. Definitely green still. I don't know, especially because this one lives next to my Forgetii, which is like green. You really can see the difference. You can see that she fades to this. And what I've been doing, I'm kind of experimenting with the light with this one. I'm doing the same thing that I told y'all about the Moodeanum, where I have these two old leaves getting blasted by the grow light, and you can see it. That is grow light damage. Blasted with a grow light. So these two leaves are probably getting 1,000 to 1,500 foot candles, which is too much in my opinion. But I wanted to see like how the lighting would affect how the leaves look. So these leaves are actually just facing this room. And these are the two leaves that came out once I started. blasting it with a grow light. So, I mean, they're dark. It could be genetics. It could be genetics. Maybe these leaves were too young that they looked more green and they didn't really express. Oh my God, I'm just noticing how red backs are. Oh my gosh. I don't really look at the backs, but I guess the veining is super pink. Even with like the previous one, look at that. And then this one. Oh yeah, and then I keep forgetting to say this. This was by seed, so it's not like a division. Seeds, like, it's so unpredictable. It is so unpredictable. I mean, it's still so dark and I'm so in love. The Forgetii is too big to carry. Okay, I'm only gonna hold this for a little bit. Do you see the difference? Like the Forgetii is like, okay, I'll put it on my knee. The Forgetii is like still dark versus this one. Like, do you see the difference? I don't know. Forgetii, maybe I'll do that one next. Again, beautiful. Living in pond currently. I haven't flushed this recently, I think in the last 6 weeks, but I also haven't fed it. I'm also kind of linking that to why the newest leaf is not that big, even though I am giving it a lot of light. And I forgot to mention also that there was an inflow coming out the same time as this leaf, and I really want to favor the foliage with this plant specifically. I do want to pollinate in the future, but I just feel like it's not mature yet. Okay, Anthurium Zara F2 crossed with Michelle F3 by seed. And while we have her here, Forgetii. I've had so many issues trying to like fit this where I want to fit it. You have like this leaf that looks gorgeous. It's one of the newest ones. I've had to kind of move it out of the way of the grow light because I know that she's gonna get burned. You could see here, it's already happened with this leaf. And then actually behind it, I'm trying to be careful because she's not hardened off yet. Behind it, you can see that this is a new leaf. Boom. She's already damaged because the same thing as the Burle Marx claims. She was crashing on the plastic of the moss pole. But look at this. Oh my God. It's so pretty. I love the Forgetii so much. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it kind of looks like the same size as the previous one, which was the dark one that I showed y'all. I still have the other leaves, so you can see this one. And the oldest leaf currently is this one. Ever since I put the moss just wrapping the stem, there has been new root initiation. You could see one creeping down here. Right over here, you could see other ones there. There's one in the moss up there. Oh my God, it almost fell. And there is root growth in the moss pole, but I can't really see it at the moment just because of the cling wrap. But yeah, I don't know. Forgetii, so forgiving. Oh my gosh. And I just love the lack of sinus. It is the cutest thing ever. It really is. And I'm super obsessed. This new leaf, I've been trying to protect it ever since I saw the damage on the edges from the moss pole, but look at that. Insane. Okay, Anthurium Forgetii. Okay, let's do another Hoya. Obsessed. Oh, Hoya Nova Ghost. Are you kidding? Here we are. So this planter is actually one that I took like... So now, because in my opinion, the Nova Ghost, once it does establish itself, it does start to take off. And you can see that she only started taking off now. You know, there are still some in here that haven't pushed out a lot of leaves. So I don't know how many are in here. There's probably like, let's just say 8 plants in here. I'm just so excited. I don't know if I put cake dowels. Maybe I didn't. Uh-oh. So I guess we're just gonna let it trail for a little bit under a grow light, and then I'll decide if I want to like chop it again. But like, you get differences in the leaves. Like, you have these super silver ones similar to these ones right here. Look at those. And then you get like the dusty ones back here. I'll show you like the other one because those ones are more dusty and it seems like they're more consistent with the dustiness. So that one, I forgot to say that that one is in pawn. This next one, if I can reach it, oh my gosh, it's gonna fall. This one is so top heavy. I think I need to like chop her soon. Yeah, so this one is in Leca. It's lived in Leca for years. Oh, look how full it is. I haven't chopped this or touched it at all, but you can see she's more of a dusty silver. Absolutely obsessed. And then this is the one that bloomed for me. There's actually a point that's waking up. I love these flowers. Future Kevin put in a picture. I love these flowers so much. They're so beautiful. The centers, the pinks in the center with like the whites, so beautiful right there. Look at that. Yay. Hopefully it doesn't dry up because you know how like Hoya, peduncles and blooms like act. But how exciting. The roots look disgusting. I'm going to warn you. I'm going to like, look how gross. Lots of algae. Even the planter inside, it's really disgusting. I'm doing the same thing like the Clemensiorum, unless I feel the roots every time I change the nutrient solution and they're squishy, like I'm still going to continue having those roots there. You can cut them off and they'll branch above if you give it the right conditions. But this one, I haven't seen any like negative, like anything negative. So yeah, look at this beauty. Obsessed. I can't wait for this one to bloom. Do you know what? I'm just going to say it's going to bloom because we have to put that positiveness into the atmosphere. There's too many plants, man. Okay, can I, I'm going to do one that I never thought I would include in a favorites video anytime soon. Philodendron Joepii. Kevin, wait, I thought you said you were over her. I was. This new leaf is everything though, and I really gotta show you. I have, ever since I put out that video of like, what was it called? 4 plants that I hate or something. It's so awful. Ever since that happened, I have kept on top. Oh my God, girl is stuck. I'm gonna break the leaf. I have really kept on top of like, first of all, keeping the moss pole moist. And this new leaf is kind of everything. So, Philodendron Joepii. She's not hardened off yet. So she is a lot lighter, but look at the shape. The shape is the shape. This is the shape I'm obsessed with. Like super skinny over here and just having these lobes. Like I'm obsessed. And ever since she's rooted into the moss pole, she's really woken up before, and you can see that she has 2 other leaves on the side here. Before, she would just be out and down, but now you can see that she's up like this. And I think it's because there's tons of roots in the moss pole. There's one right there. Do you see that? The stem is getting larger. I am doing a better job, and you can see that there is cling wrap on the newest node next to the new leaf. So I am doing like a better job when it comes to keeping the moss pole moist. I think ultimately, I know I've grown philodendrons and leca in the past, but I think before there's like fungus gnats just flying out of the reservoir. That's a sign that there might be like root rot. I haven't checked, but I think that the root system in the leca is not the best. Like I still do think that there is a root system. I just think it's smaller than what this plant should have. But ever since she has rooted into the moss pole, she's really started to take off. And, I'm glad that I didn't get rid of this plant because this leaf is, I know, see, this is what I was talking about. She was bended on that side. This side looks hilarious, but look at this plant, man. Like, why, like, all of a sudden she started going up like this. And I didn't even change any of the condition except for, like, now she's secure in where she is, starting to take off, and I don't know. She is just so stunning. Wow. Okay, Philodendron Joepii. Because I was so obsessed with the Nova ghost, this is the Hoya Grey Ghost. Obsessed with this round trellis that I kind of bent in a way where there was like a slight slope, so she would kind of fill up the trellis better than if it was just, those U-shaped ones. And in leca, this is actually a plant that I've only propagated once. It took forever for those cuttings to grow. But this is ultimately the main plant. There's only one plant in here. There are new leaves that are like quite big. Look at that. I just love, oh my God, silver Hoyas. This one got crunched. Look how crunchy, but it's so silver. I don't know. This is so pretty. Do I have an opinion about which one grows faster, the Nova versus the Gray? They're kind of the same. Before I thought that the Nova was faster and everyone said that the Nova was faster, but they're kind of the same for me. I don't see really a difference. Is the silver Hoya hype gone? I love silver Hoyas. They are everything. I don't know. Obsessed. Okay. Hoya Grey Ghost. Oh, sorry. Y'all know that I had issues. I shared this on Instagram. There was a seedling that I had, and I had a few. The Anthurium Magnificum crossed with Ace of Spades, the Tezula dark form. Now, I had a few seedlings. I gave a few of them away, but the one that I was obsessed with was the darkest one, and I was So shocked by it. Anyhow, I think I messed up with the pH and nutrition. She did poorly, so I decided to chop her up into 3 pieces. So the butt cut that I had pushed out 2 separate growth points, and the leaves are still dark. Like, it's hard to show, but I'm obsessed. Future Kevin put in a picture of what, or a reel of what it looks like. Look how dark. Like during this really juvenile state, like I was shocked to see these dark leaves, and they really were so different than the other ones I had at like in the same batch. You can see that that leaf that you saw in that reel, it's now looking like this. Again, this was the only leaf that was present on this butt cut. It pushed out these 2 growth points, and they are so dark. Look, so that's one leaf, so dark, and then the second one. And this is what I was talking about. Like this specific seedling, the dark genetics compared to, or darker genetics compared to the other ones, that's that. Like insane. I'm excited. There's a new leaf. I'm a little scared because she was stuck for a while and she finally released herself. There's another one too. I don't know. I just really need to preserve this one because she's one of a kind. Like you don't see these dark leaves at this early of a stage. I have it in pawn. She's probably getting like 250 to 500 foot candles, so not a lot of light, like low to medium. This one is another one of the siblings. So you can see that she is dark, but she's not like as dark. I don't know how to explain it. So this was one in the same seed batch, and then the other 2. So this is a division. This little seedling over here. Obviously, because these ones are young. So this was the first leaf. She's starting to fade a little bit. And then she pushed out this leaf, and there is actually a new leaf over here. I'm just noticing that the reservoir is like non-existent, but the moss on the top is wet. So I put moss on top of the pond, just because she didn't have a big root system. It was probably like 1 root, I think. And so I just needed to keep that part moist. So that's one. And then I think this is a mid-cut. So the leaf died already, but you can see that small little thing. I don't know. I did the same thing with the moss, but she's still alive. I'm very excited to see all of them grow. But yeah, the Anthurium world, the hybrids, the things you see, like it is incredible how unique certain ones can look, even from their brothers and sisters. Like it is wild. And okay, let's do the orchids. I keep forgetting. I was like, I really want to do this video because of the phals that I have. Okay, my absolute favorite one over here, the Phalaenopsis Miki Japanese Pearl. Now, probably my favorite phal blooms in my collection. So you can see here, ooh, so they're not all open yet, but look at that. So bright, like the dots against the white. This is incredible, wow. So that is one side over here. Then when I rotate it, you can see that there are more. There's 2 more. You know, with phals, I will always love a phal that has a dotted pattern, because every time there's a new bloom, like it's never the same. Like look at the dots and how they're dispersed with that one versus that one versus these 2. It's always different. And I don't know why I like that so much. So I had this one under grow light. She's living in Lekka. She's living in Lekka this whole time. I don't know if there's any roots in the reservoir. There's one down there, but it kind of looks a bit rotten. The foliage looks all right. Like they don't look great, but they look fine. Before I was blasting them with a lot of light. Phalaenopsis don't need a ton of light. So currently she's up against my south-facing window, but she is on the top shelf over there, and she doesn't really have a good view of the sky. So currently she's just chilling. She doesn't need much. She is absolutely beautiful. So this is one of the ones this one currently is probably my favorite one right now. But I do want to say that like all my phals are going off. This Phalaenopsis GW Greenwood snakeskin, it's never had this many blooms. Look, it's the same thing. Like I love phals that have dots because the pattern is always so different. You will have some that have more red, some with just more yellow. Like this one has more yellow. So great. Like, look at this. Insane. And then over here on the other side, there's like 6 more. I'm going to try to do a slow pan. Ooh, sometimes the red is so saturated, like that one. God, you are blocking your sister. Oh my God, sister. Yeah. I don't know, like I love how the red looks like it's bleeding onto the yellow. I don't know why I'm so in love with that pattern. But there's so many blooms. So many blooms. Same thing. The foliage is like, all right, but it's not great looking. But I don't know. I'm happy with how she is now. Roots, let's take a look. See, there's some rot over there. I do find that, you know, like when they grow into the reservoir, a lot of them can actually take living in the reservoir just because they're used to it. But there are certain times where it just dies and, you know, anyhow, I am so happy with this one. And this was my very first orchid. It's my very first orchid I got in 2020. And this one generally has been the least problematic when it comes to like pushing out blooms. I don't know. She is gorgeous. Phalaenopsis, Mituo, Diamond Panda has a couple right now. This one. You can see more buds on that side. And then there's one that just opened like yesterday. Ooh, look how cute. Oh my God. Okay, so I actually did get this one the same time as the snakeskin, so the one previous to that. Look at that. There's more buds. This one is doing a bit more better when it comes to leaves. I am giving it too much light though. Like you can see that the leaves are doing pretty, like they're better than the other ones. They're pretty large. They are a bit more bleached just because I have it still under grow light, just off to the side. So not getting as much as I usually would give one. And I know it's too much, y'all. Yeah, that's the third one. Do you love how I'm just like showing you all my phals? Because they're going off. Okay, Mini Mark has been blooming since like January. And you can see that she started with this one and she's this spike on this side dried up. Then she went this way and you could see that there were a ton of blooms over here. Then she just had so, I mean, you can even see she had so many blooms. She's probably going to drop these ones soon because they're on the edge, but look at that. I love how there's just like this cluster at the very end of this spike. Look how cute. I always recommend this phal to people who want an orchid because it is so easy to bloom. And then there's another spike on this side. It's going off. Remember like a year ago, she just had a singular like long spike with blooms. Now she has like multiple. That's her. If I flip her around just so you can look at the ones on the other side. Dendrolina, look at that. So pretty. Yeah. So that's her. She's doing her thing. Again, foliage. It's bad. It's like fine, but it's not like the best. Hopefully I can be a better phal mom or dad or whatever. Oh my God, that one has a big spike. They're literally all pushing out spikes now. This is, I don't know which one this one is, but she has a spike. I think it's the one with the white flowers. The Yukidian. I'm pretty sure it's that one. This one, the foliage actually looks fantastic compared to the older growth. And there is a spike. So not close yet. Guys, I think I like bent the spike putting it back. So maybe it's not going to survive. Oh my God, I'm just making it worse. I guess there's one more that has a spike. This one. This one is the Miki Fortune Cat. So here it is. I think I got this 2 years ago. Here are the leaves. And you can actually see it's not, I'm so sad that it's not open yet, but you can see like how pink it looks in the pattern, like the spots. Again, it's another phal that has these pink spots. Do you see the spots? Okay, I'll put a picture. Like this is what they look like. Insane. I'm just really happy like all around with these phals. And so yeah, I think that concludes it. I'm so sorry. I feel like I went off like too much. Like there were so many plants that I want to show. And there's still so many. I'm like looking like I should have went there. Yeah, I was just very excited to do a favorites video again. These are plants I absolutely love. I'm just so obsessed with all of them. And I don't know. It's crazy that there's so many other ones that I want to show you, but like I will probably save that for a planter video. What were y'all's favorites? I think I still have to say the Burle Marx Flames. I am so sorry for spending too much time on those, but my dream was always to have so many. And like holding those two planters in pawn at the stage that they are, like, oh, so beautiful. Obsessed. Thank y'all for always sticking with me and watching my content, and I will join you in the next one.